Good evening, and welcome to Haunted Homemaking. Warmer weather, windy days, and blooming flowers. Must be spring. Join me tonight as I make this amazing circus tent picnic basket, perfect for enjoying a meal with your loved ones. As always, thank you for letting me be your haunted homemaker, and let's get started.
Ooh, we're going on a picnic?
We sure are. Doesn't that sound lovely?
That sounds awesome.
Here's an idea. How about you two find some snacks to put in the picnic basket, and we'll go ahead and show them how we made it.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna put some Hot Pockets in there.
When it comes to weaving, especially something as ambitious as a circus tent, we need to create a good structure. We are essentially weaving through that structure, so it's important to have good bones. I start with cutting out my own wooden base for my circus tent. I'm going for a pretty wide and narrow oval, which ends up biting me back later, but I'll talk more about that as we get through the steps. With my wooden base ready, I'm marking where I want to set up wooden dowels to create the wall of my circus tent. Now I don't want to make my dowels too far or too close to each other. Too far and I won't get as tight of a weave as I prefer. Too close and I risk breaking my weaving material on the curves of my basket. I'm no professional, but a little patience can make up for that. Creating a grid, I can equally space out my dowels around my oval, ending up with 24 dowel spaces. An even number may seem a bit confusing at first, especially for a simple in and out weave, but it's not uncommon, and that's the number I ended up with after I spaced everything out. I'll explain more about it later as we get to the weaving. Continuing my structure, I'm drilling holes a smidge too small to fit my dowels through. The dowels I'm using are strong and unbending, perfectly used as a skeleton to weave through. Basket making is truly a trust the process kind of project, and it can be hard to keep everything tight, so a good base really makes all the difference. You got this. To make everything even more secure, I'm adding a dot of wood glue as I impale my dowels through. These dowels are going nowhere. Oh, how I love the security. So we have our soil, our planters, and of course our flowers, and we're ready to get to replanting.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So we're gonna pull this out.
Ooh, careful.
There you go. This is what it looks like.
Wow.
Huh. What's the big deal?
My very own plant.
There you go. And then we can do checkups on it. So I'm gonna put this here.
Whatever.
Bobby.
What?
So we're going to
Now we're in business.
cut.
So this is a snack dragon? Some sharp looking scissors.
They are.
That's exactly what I said.
Snack dragon sounds good.
I can't wait for it to grow fruit.
That would be a miracle.
Okay, we're not looking so bad.
That's gonna look so good when it blooms, Bobby.
So we may need some bigger pots, but we are done.
How often should we water it?
Let's say 2 times a week?
2 times a week, that's not so bad. You can call me Frita Bobby.
Once the glue is all dry, it is finally time to start weaving. Weaving is where we get to finally see our shape start to form. It can get monotonous once you get into the groove, so please have that favorite TV program ready to go. First things first, soaking your reed. This is so important so we can easily weave in and out without the risk of breaking. Because my oval is a bit narrow on the sides, it helps that the reed is super flexible and can be easily manipulated to go through those tight curves. Feel free to start anywhere you want. I tend to start in the back, and I'm going behind my first dowel, then over, then under, and over again, and continue. When we get to where we started, you'll notice there's not a place to alternate your weaving because of the even number of dowels. There are two solutions. Start with an odd number if you want more uniformity, or we can just repeat a weave either over or under so that it fixes itself. Now you'll have to repeat this step once you get to the same place again, but like I mentioned earlier, it's not uncommon and a lot of baskets actually have this design. You'll just end up with a row of doubles in your final product, but it will not affect the structure of your basket. As a last minute idea, I added a flat strip of weave after every 10 rows. This will just add some aesthetic variety and is entirely optional. After some eventful weaving, I have created the height I want my picnic basket to be, or at least the bottom part. We're going to start curving the basket inwards to create that iconic circus tent shape. To extend the height, I'm adding the same reed I've been weaving with right next to my dowels. Since we are creating a curve, it's important that the top structure is made with materials that can bend, as opposed to my fixed dowels at the base. Because I am either blindly ambitious or crazy, I designed my big top tent to have 2 points rather than 1. It is going to look so fun and so unique, and I can't wait for it to all come together. Before weaving my top, I'm adding a red piece of paper to separate where the bottom and top of my picnic basket starts. I'm choosing to build my lid right on top of the bottom of my picnic basket so that everything fits nicely. Now, I'm not too confident in my weaving abilities, especially for a project like this, so this just makes everything a bit easier. I'm building the skeleton of my top using 2 cone shapes that connect into each other. I found it a bit hard to make the structure stay put, so masking tape was my close friend here. I found weaving the lid was a bit annoying, especially as I got to the pointed tops. I ended up using a smaller reed and was concerned if it would look out of place, but I really don't mind it. It helped a lot into getting into those tight curves. Our picnic basket is at the home stretch, and the shape is so amazing, and it really gives circus tent, which is what I used my one and only wish for. Good evening. Editor Al here to let you know I lost the footage of me using a hacksaw. How mysterious. But I added footage of me reenacting and trying my best to explain exactly what I did during this step. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the episode. Bye-bye. Since I created the lid directly on the base, I have to separate the two, which is as easy as using a hacksaw to cut it all out. Don't forget the bottom part of the dowels we glued earlier. Our picnic basket is pretty much done as far as building the structure. To really emphasize circus tent, I'm going to paint red stripes all around. I'm using acrylic paint to have more control. I'm a bit wary of wood stain bleeding and not giving me as clean stripes as I'd like, and I plan to weatherproof everything so acrylic is completely fine. So the picnic basket is very large and kind of an awkward shape to carry. I had full intentions of making a handle for it, but I think a shoulder strap would be a much better option. So I attached this beautiful brown faux leather strap to my basket using clips. With the paint dry and the hardware added, I've decided to add some stars and make a garland for my tent. How cute are these little stars? The final step is to line my picnic basket with this vintage style circus fabric. After cutting to size, I use my hot glue gun to attach, and we have our finished picnic basket. Thank you for joining us on this very fabulous episode of Haunted Homemaking. I hope you enjoyed the making of my big top circus picnic basket. I think it looks so amazing. It's so unique, and I just love it. This is probably my third or fourth time weaving, and my first time weaving something this big. Actually, I do have my first basket here, which you can take a look. Now, it's not perfect.
You call that a basket?
We have some discrepancies here. It's not very shapely, but it is a shape.
Understatement.
But it's my first basket, and I
Beauty
can always
is in the eye
put
of the
things in it.
beholder.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for letting me be your haunted homemaker. See you later. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.